Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and let me add my welcome to you all to NIDays here in Switzerland as well. Big thank you to Christian for his kind words. It makes me feel a little old when he talks about us meeting 20 years ago. And, certainly the world was a very different place 20 years ago, as we'll talk about a little bit today as we go through this presentation. This is my 6th NIDays event that I've done in the various different locations around Europe. And it's the last one I'm doing in this series, and I think, I'll say sort of within the confines of this room, it's the best of the bunch, especially given the nice view out of the back over the mountains there. So it's a very beautiful location. I'm very proud and happy to be here. So I think right now it's a really exciting time to be an engineer. You and National Instruments have delivered tens of thousands of amazing systems over the last decades, overcome what seemed like insurmountable challenges only a few years ago, and in general improved everyday life for the people around the world. And today we're going to talk about how you and I will create the Internet of Things. Now, of course, where better to talk about the Internet than in the place where the Internet was founded, right here in Switzerland. And I think most of you will be familiar with some of the images or the image that you can see on the screen here. This is taken from, I have it on good authority, this is a section of the tracker barrel from the CMS experiment at CERN. And again, it's quite timely that I'm talking about this now. I've just been reading in the press about how the LHC is just about to be turned back on again after a couple of years of upgrading the machine. So I believe, if I've read correctly, that the machine now is going to produce sort of twice the capability that it run at previously. So again, it's really exciting to be able to see now how this is going to produce even more exciting science as we go forward. So I wish them all the best with that endeavor. Now, of course, we're talking today about the Internet of Things, and National Instruments has identified 5 key challenges that we believe are really underlying this technology. The first of which is Moore's Law. And I think everybody is familiar with Moore's Law, first stated by Gordon Moore of Intel back in the late 60s, that the number of transistors on an integrated circuit would double approximately every 18 months. And that has held true up until today. So the power and the capability of these devices has grown enormously over that period of time. And the forecasts are saying that these devices will exceed the capacity of the human brain in the not too distant future. Moving to the next trend, we now talk about networking. And again, the capability of the networks is really what's driving the Internet of Things. And Metcalfe's law again states that the power of the network is proportional to the square of the number of nodes on the network. So therefore, as the networks grow, the power and the capability that it delivers is exponential to the number of connections. And again, every day we see that in just in the power of social networking and the amount of people that we can interact with on a daily basis. And of course, that grows ever more. Third technology, chemists have been busy working on the underlying technology of batteries, which are allowing us to have our portable devices disconnected from the main supply for longer and longer. Now, again, we go back 20 years when the mobile phones first came around, and some of us will remember they used to last for several days. And of course, that was true. But now today, you'll get a good day out of the modern devices. And I think we have to keep in mind the capability that we have in these devices now versus what it was 15 or 20 years ago. So the fact that we're carrying these mini supercomputers around in our pockets, the fact that they last for, about a day is actually quite a significant achievement. But nevertheless, the technology will continue to evolve and we'll be able to get even better. Fourth technology, of course, is the cellular technology, and we're up to the 4th generation of cellular technology, potentially transferring data at about 100 megabits per second. And of course, 5G is on the horizon, and that's going to expand the capability even further. And National Instruments is working very closely with leading researchers on delivering some of the new technologies that will enable the 5G to come to fruition in a few years' time. And then finally, of course, the ability to sense the world around us, the ubiquity of sensors allowing us to connect the physical world to the virtual world, and doing that at a very, very, very low price. So now, again, we're all familiar with having GPS in our devices, so the ability to know exactly where we are is one example of this sensing technology that's now available to all of us every day. And put together, combined, these technologies are the underlying technologies that will create the Internet of Things. Now, of course, the Internet of Things is a big sort of buzz phrase right now, and we see it a lot in the press in all kinds of areas. And if we think about it from a National Instruments perspective, we break this down into the consumer Internet of Things and the industrial Internet of Things. And if we start off with the consumer Internet of Things, this is, of course, what we touch and see every day. Whether it be, smart controls for our heating systems. I just got one of these Nest thermostats installed in my house very recently. So if I wanted to, I could turn my heating on and off from on stage here from my mobile phone, which sounds a little trivial, but of course the capability of that is much more. It learns about how we want to heat our house over time, and then adapts to hopefully save us money and save energy over that time period. Technology can be used to help us find parking spaces in city areas, or search for bicycles in the cities that have these. And of course, we're all, again, getting very familiar with these wearable devices. My wife just acquired a Fitbit device, so she's now busy telling me about her sleep patterns and how many steps she's taking every day, and all kinds of good things. So, even my wife, who's not the most sort of techno-savvy person, is now really getting into this ability to monitor what she's doing on a day-to-day basis. And of course, National Instruments is involved in all of these areas, and we're helping the manufacturers design and test these devices to make sure they're reliable and working when they get delivered to the marketplace. Now today, of course, as well, we'll talk about the industrial Internet of Things. And really what we're talking about here is the ability of machines and technologies to communicate with each other to deliver better capability based on the sharing of information. Whether it's things like smart grids, so we saw in some of the videos, how the technology is changing from fossil fuels to renewables. And of course, with the recent solar eclipse, my colleague from Germany was telling me that the power companies were a little nervous, obviously, about the reduced sunlight and the reliance on photovoltaic energy to supply the grid. So that was a good test of the technology to make sure that we could cope with those kind of things. Other examples are things like wind turbines. So the wind turbines are in very inaccessible places. So the ability of the wind turbine to monitor itself and then report back before it's about to break rather than after it's broken, so that we can go and maintain it and service it in a timely fashion. And then we'll see today about the factory of the future, how Airbus are looking to integrate smart technology into some of their tooling for assembling aircraft to deliver better capability there as well. So I'll save that one for a little bit later. But again, you and National Instruments will create the Internet of Things. Now here in Europe, there's a lot of the researchers talk about Industry 4.0 and CyberPhysical Systems, and we like the phrase CyberPhysical Systems because it really neatly encapsulates the key parts of the Internet of Things. So the combination of ubiquitous communications, control, and computation brought together really delivers on this capability. And then if we look at it in the broad sense, these smart machines, the Internet of Things, combined with analytics, the social interaction, the web, and then the services associated with that, these technologies brought together and wrapped up are really starting to deliver the fourth industrial revolution, or Industry 4.0, as it's commonly known. And as I mentioned, you and National Instruments will create the Internet of Things. It's our partnership that will deliver on this capability. And the way we do that at National Instruments is we provide these tools, both hardware and software, which integrate together into this highly powerful platform to allow you, the engineers and scientists, to really focus on the application at hand rather than the underlying technology. And one of the best examples of a common platform, of course, is the smartphone. And we're familiar with all the different applications and capabilities that we can have on the smartphone, whether it's a navigation system, whether it's a gaming device, whether it's actually a phone, is delivered through software. And our technology builds on a common hardware platform and then uses software like LabVIEW to then tailor that platform to the particular applications that you're working on. So with that, I'm going to hand over to Daniel Riedelbach, who's going to lead you through now some of this new technology that will help us create the Internet of Things. So with that, enjoy the day, and thank you.